Hey you guys, good morning to you. Do y'all ever feel like your life is just going absolutely haywire? Well, that's how my morning has been. The phone won't quit ringing. My kid didn't have any clean clothes for school this morning. And it's just been one thing after the other. And I said, you know what? I've got to get outside so that I can breathe. And I got to do something to get me a little plant therapy. So as I was taking some clothes into my kid's room this morning, like the light literally went haywire. Well, that's interesting. And it's just one thing after the other. Then I got a phone call. One of the guys had an accident at one of the businesses, cut his arm real bad. Ambulance had to come get him. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's just overwhelming. And so for all of you other single parents out there, man, props to you, because it ain't easy. You know, you got to get groceries, got to pay the bills, got to make sure clothes are clean. And then I'm trying to work out in the yard all the time, run all the businesses, pay all the bills. And so we're just going to take a little break. I had to just kind of let everything go for a minute. And what we're going to do to get our plant therapy today, we're in mid-August now, and a lot of our annuals are getting really tired. And so I was watching Garden Answer the other day, which, by the way, YouTube, whether I'm making a video like right now or watching videos like Garden Answer, and I've been watching a lot of Jess with Roots and Refuge lately. That's kind of like stress relief to me. But I love getting on here and talking to you guys. I love watching their videos. But I saw Laura with Garden Answer the other day. She came out and just really cut back her annuals that were tired and struggling and fertilized them, and they came back just beautifully. So I want to try that here. We've got a Petunia bubblegum from Proven Winners, and we're just going to give this thing a good old haircut, turn the phone off, and just breathe for a minute. So this Petunia, it looks about like how I feel. It's been 110 degree days, and she is just tired. So you can see a lot of dieback here on the edges. Still got a lot of flowers, and I believe this was 2 plants that we planted in this container. It's a huge container, and the thing has just performed beautifully all year long. If you've ever tried Petunia bubblegum, you know what I'm talking about. This thing is just, it's just an amazing, amazing plant. The vigor on the growth is incredible. The amount of flowers, it's just a really, really easy plant. But it's tired, and so what I'm going to do, we're going to come in and we're just going to cut it way back. It's going to look kind of puny for a little bit, but I think it'll do it some good, and we're going to see if we can get a second flush out of it that'll make it all the way to fall. So there we go. I had it in cinematic mode, just playing around with that on the iPhone 13 Pro Max here. So I took it out of cinematic mode. Now you can kind of get a sense of just how big this pot is. I don't know, it's probably a 50-gallon container. I had a banana in it last year, but the banana didn't make it through our 10-degree winter. But it's just a beautiful day. We're out here in the front yard. Got the pool over here. And it's really nice because my phone is turned to silent, and even though it's probably ringing off the hook, I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to play in the yard a little bit and catch our breath. Now, I was looking for some of my Espoma flower tone, and I didn't have any more, so we'll have to get some more from the nursery if we go down there today. But I did find this Job's Organics Rose and Flower. I don't even know where this came from. I have no idea. The expiration date is still good. So once we cut her back, we're going to add some of this fertilizer in there just to help her to rebound from the extreme haircut that we're going to give her today. Okay, you guys, I don't even know where to even begin on this thing. It is so huge, but I guess we just kind of got to jump in there anywhere. And I'm probably just going to give it a bowl haircut and use the pot as my bowl and as my cutting guide. And I've got my bucket right here, so I'm just going to go all along the edges, pruning this thing, and then we're going to get down into the interior of the plant a little bit too, just to cut out some of that old growth. And I really do believe, and I've done this with petunias before, if they're not too far gone, just cutting them back and pruning them will reinvigorate that plant, because its sole purpose in life is to make flowers and produce seeds. And there are seeds all over this thing. So by taking those seeds away, the plant says, hey, we haven't done our job. So we need to make more flowers. It's still warm outside. We need to make more flowers and try to procreate and do our job. I tell y'all what, man, I feel better already. Just as soon as I get these pruners in my hand and I start working with plants, you know, I just kind of somewhat forget about everything else going on in life. You know, I was talking a while ago about being a single parent. That's new to me, and it's not been an easy transition because there's a lot to take care of. And when you had a life partner that was helping, you know, with those things, and then all of a sudden you don't, that falls on you. So it changes up your whole life. So I really struggle a lot with like time management, because I've got so much going on, you know, with the other companies, with personal life, trying to run 2 YouTube channels, which I do love. Again, just making this video and talking to you guys is a bit of a stress relief to me, but there's just so much to do. I mean, the cat doesn't have any food inside, so I got to make time to go to the grocery store. And sometimes there's like, you know, it's overwhelming. But what I got to keep telling myself is everything happens for a reason. It may not be the best thing that you're going through, you know, whether it be a divorce or maybe you lost a loved one or what have you, but everything happens for a reason. And I'm a firm believer in that. And you just got to know, you know, in your heart that everything is gonna work out. Because if you get to a point where you're so stressed out, you know, it's just not good for your health or anyone around you. And so sometimes you just got to kind of let things go to an extent. Come outside, do whatever you want to do. If the garden's your thing, then that's great. But you got to just take a little break for yourself. Focus on, you know, your well-being, and just breathe and know that everything eventually is going to turn out all right. And thank goodness we got a little bit of cloud cover today. I should have brought a bigger bucket. I'm just going to have to keep packing it down in there. But we got a little bit of cloud cover today. It's still humid as all get out. We got a little bit of rain again yesterday. This has been the rainiest summer I think I've ever seen. I don't know how many inches we got yesterday, but we had a nice little gully washer that came down. It seems like every other day this year we have had a rain event every afternoon. It's great for the plants, but the weeds have just taken over. As a matter of fact, I haven't even shown you guys the big garden because I'm embarrassed about it, because I've been so damn busy. We haven't had time to get over there and work in it and help Dad, and weeds just took over. I mean, it got flooded a couple of times. It's just a disaster. And I think that's another one of my issues too, is I try to do too much. And I don't want gardening to become another stressor in my life. So I think I need to focus on smaller projects, maybe some raised beds, some container gardening. I just get myself too stretched out, can't take care of it all, and then it fails, and then that's just another stressor on me. So I'm gonna have to do some real time management and also project size management going forward, because I don't want my passion and my hobby of gardening to add even more stress to my life. So see all these old brown stems? I mean, that's shot. So it doesn't need to be on the plant anyway. So I'm just going through here, and I'm not getting rid of all of it, because I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here. But see this flower stem right here? Look at all these flowers that are spent and have already gone to seed. So we're just going to come in here and get rid of that whole thing. But this thing has really put on a show this entire summer. This is probably the most prolific petunia that I've ever grown. See, like that whole thing right there, it's just doing the plant absolutely no good. So hopefully by getting rid of it, she's going to say, hey, we still got time, we still got a few months, let's put on another show. And when we're adding fertilizer, guys, you don't want to overdo it. You might think more is better, but that is not the case when it comes to fertilizer. You always want to read the back of the package and see what it recommends. So we're not doing soil prep, we're not doing new plantings, we're doing established plants. 1.5 cups per foot of plant spread. Now, I don't know if we can exactly go by this, being as we just have this Petunia in this probably 50-gallon container. So I think probably what I'm going to do is just put about 2 cups in this big old container, because I don't want to overdo it. And we used some good potting soil when we planted this guy back in the spring, so I'm sure there's still some nutrient value there. So let's just do about 2 cups and let's see what happens. And I don't really measure. If y'all watched any of my videos, I just kind of guesstimate. So that's probably about 1 cup right there. And I'm gonna just say that's about 2 cups. You like my measuring device? And a couple of little chunks came out of there. So we're just gonna bust those up, and that'll help us to more evenly spread the fertilizer around. And I'm gonna grab our hose pipe. And since we got rain yesterday, all I really want to do is help to get this down to the roots. I don't want to drown the plant, and I want to wash it off of the leaves. Now this is an organic fertilizer, so we shouldn't have to worry about burning as much, but we still don't want that stuff just sitting on the leaves, and this will help get the nutrient down to the root ball. Now we're going to walk over to our compost pile and add this whole bucket to our compost pile so it can give us some nutrient-rich soil for whenever we need it. I pruned up that big old trumpet vine up by the porch the other day, added it to our compost pile, and we need to come down here soon, and my handle is getting in my way. We need to come down here soon and take the pitchfork and flip our compost pile. And I haven't been adding the all the food that I should have been adding to it here recently, just because I've been lazy and busy, but need to get down here and flip this thing so they can break down a lot quicker. And there's one more plant up here that I want to do the same thing to. We've got a Coleus, if we can get up there. This Asiatic Jasmine has grown in really good on this hillside, giving us nice coverage. Don't have to worry about it washing, and it's acting like a mulch too. It's helping to hold that moisture down in the soil. So this Coleus right here, this is one that we planted back during the spring, and just see how bushy it is. That's because I've been pinching it and making it that bushy. And look at this dude sitting in here. Hey Pepe, I wish I had that guy's life. He lives the life of Riley, man. No stress, just hangs out all day. Everybody takes care of him. Sleeps whenever he wants to. Maybe I'll come back as a cat. But before we get started, guys, I've got to brag on this stone pathway. Hopefully you guys saw the video of me installing this, but it is turning out so beautiful. I love how the moss is just filling in between the cracks of the stone, and hopefully that's going to fill in even more, but it looks really good so far. I've been watering it about twice a day because it's been so hot. But don't that look so cool, you guys? Now I will tell you, I got tired. My back was killing me by the time I got over here to the shower area. Had my knee pads on, and I was just having to take my time, put soil down, plant the moss, but it looks really good. Still got to come around here and put my fan away, but this is the shower area, which by the way I went to Lowe's the other day to get all the solder and copper fittings I need to fix my shower. They didn't even have solder. He said that there was some kind of solder shortage, believe it or not. So I had to go order some off of Amazon, but I'm gonna get that repaired, and then we'll be able to come out here and shower if we want to. My main reason I like doing it, well, I like showering because I like to stay clean, but when I'm out in the yard working and I just want to go right down there and jump in the pool, I don't have to go inside. I can just shower myself off right here and go take a dip. But here's the view coming from the other direction. I really am ecstatic over this project. One, I put a ton of work into it, so I'm proud of it just for that factor. But I think it just looks really, really cool. It'll be a neat area to come out here, and we'll be able to work in our raised bed, which I've ripped up everything other than our little chili de arbol. But I think it just adds a really cool. It looks like it's been here for years already, and it's just been a couple of days. So again, back to this, I believe this is pineapple brandy coleus, but that says beautiful chartreuse foliage. And like I said, I've been pinching it, and what I mean by pinching it, I'll tell you what, so I can show you better. I'll go ahead and cut it back. So if you pinch a coleus as they're growing, you pinch that little piece off right there, and you can kind of see there's two buds on either side of that stem. That one will grow, and this one will grow, and that'll give you a bushier plant. Then you pinch it again, and then it turns into 4, and then 8, and then 16, and you can make these things just incredibly bushy, because if you don't, you'll just kind of get a single stem plant that goes up, and then you'll get a flower spike, which they're pretty, but coleus are more known for their foliage versus their flowers. And so if you want the flowers, then let it grow up straight, but if you want a nice bushy plant, then just pinch them a couple times when they're young, and you'll get a nice bushy one like this. And so it probably wouldn't be too much longer before this one began to flower, but it's kind of getting it's getting in Pepe's view and my view from inside. So we're just going to come in and take it down. If I don't knock the camera over first, we're just going to take it down to the bottom of the window, and that way it can just bush out even more and not block our view. Pepe, don't let me disturb you as you're inside in the air condition, and we're out here in the hot, humid air. But you know what? It feels good, and I feel better already. Just coming out here and doing this little bit with you guys. It's just something about getting out here and messing with the plants, getting in the dirt. I don't know, just makes all my worries disappear. I got some kind of weed. This is I don't know what this is, to tell you the truth, but I think it's come from the bird feeder. And while we're at it, folks, we might as well just keep going a little bit. We got this real pretty variegated impatient, but since it has been so rainy and hot, you can see we've kind of got some fungal issues going on. So let's see if we can't cut him back too, get some more flowers, and maybe cut that fungus out. It's getting so late in the season, I'm not going to worry about applying a fungicide. We're just going to see if maybe cutting it back is going to, all the new growth hopefully will be healthy, and maybe the fungus will go away on its own. Probably not, but again, it's too late in the season to really worry about it with chemicals. Because I'm having so much fun, why don't we just go ahead and cut this whole entire bed back. And I got mosquitoes flying out of here, so this will kind of help with airflow too, and hopefully discourage any more mosquito population, because that's another thing that the rain has brought out, is tons and tons of skeeters. And then we can cut this begonia back just the same. These are all annuals that we're pruning here now, and hopefully get us another flush before fall and into fall. And we got this giant, I guess this is a crabgrass, I don't know. This is directly under the bird feeder. So it could be some type of seed that's fallen out of there. But whatever it is, I don't like it, and we're going to get rid of it. And moving right on down the line, we've got another real pretty red impatient. I'm going to go ahead and give him a trim too. And then if you guys will, hit that little notifications bell down there in the corner, and I'll show you the progress, and we'll kind of watch together what happens in this this pruning session, and we'll see if we can't get us another nice flush out of this season, out of some of these annuals. It's going to look kind of ratty for just a week or so. I'm going to add some more fertilizer to these guys here in a second. And that'll just help them recover and bounce back quicker, since we don't have a tremendous amount of time before they're going to be shot anyway due to the cold. I don't even like talking about that word cold, man. I do not like wintertime. Although this fall is going to be fun. We're going to do a lot of pruning videos and a lot of planting, because fall time is planting season. So we're going to have a lot of fun this fall. And then the cool thing about gardening too is there's always something to look forward to, even in the winter. We're going to do a lot of pruning of trees and some of our Japanese maples. So that's the one great thing about having gardening as your hobby, is that there's always something to look forward to. And I think on this dude here, I'm just going to take off the tops because he's not blocking my window view. And I kind of like how we have something up against this old metal siding. All right, let's go down here and add another bucket to our compost pile. And look at our hydrangea hill, y'all. That thing has done just awesome this year, man. It has bloomed its head off. Really pretty purple crepe myrtle here. I got to try not to get sidetracked because it happens really, really easily. And I love adding to my compost pile because I know I'm going to get all of my fertilizer and nutrients back out of this material in an organic form, which you know we love organic fertilizer. That's why composting is so important. And then another thing we got to come in here and do, y'all, is bring us a couple of bags of land and sea compost and some of our own compost, and fill up our raised bed and get ready for our fall planting, which I'm excited to do here real soon. Ooh, doggies, it is getting hot quick out here. It's so humid. I mean, again, it's overcast right now, but the humidity is like 3,000%, and that just makes it feel so much hotter. But I feel so much better after doing that little bit of gardening. So whatever you got going on in your life, no matter how bad it seems, try to find you a hobby. If it's gardening, that's great. But whatever it is, just take yourself a breather every once in a while, clear your head, and know that everything is going to work out. And also, you got to remember that the more you know, the more you grow. I appreciate you guys spending time with me, hanging out with me today. All of the subscribers and the comments that you guys leave really means the world to me. I do appreciate it. And other than that, guys, hope everyone has a fantastic day. We'll see you on the next video.